Talofa, welcome back to my channel. Today I have something special for you. We are going to make steamed buns with Char Siu pork flavor. Let's start cooking. Let me show you the ingredients, everyone. Okay, we have pork belly. Here's the ingredients for the Char Siu flavor marinade. Let's add sugar, that's brown sugar, honey, light soy sauce, hoisin sauce, olive oil, Chinese 5-spice, and our food coloring, red food color. Okay, I'll slowly mix all these ingredients together. Okay, you keep stirring all these ingredients for the marinade until they're all well combined. We will go ahead and add it to our pork. Or you can add the pork in there, whatever's easier. Okay, so if you can see, I have chopped our pork belly and I've washed them thoroughly. Okay, I have washed it with vinegar and water. That is everything. The last ingredient I'll have to add now is our chopped garlic. Now I didn't show that with the rest of the ingredients, but you will add this last and then you will mix it too. Okay. Okay, families and friends. If you think it's too red, feel free to add a little bit more of the dark soy sauce, but I am happy with that. You know, I want that color, so make it your own. I will include all the ingredients, the spices that I've used. We will marinate our pork for about minimum of 3 hours. I would recommend 3 hours minimum, whatever works for you. So I'm going to do 3 hours for me while I prepare my dough. That will give me time to marinate our meat. And then we'll cover it like that. These are really handy. I got these from the dollar store, our $2 shop, and they're very handy to cover. Okay, I think it was only $2.50, and I got a packet of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's a packet of 10. Let's marinate this and let's work on preparing our dough. For the dough, you will need 3 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, 3. And then, of course, if you're making more, you can double the recipe. This is one of my dough recipes. I have made my lamb buns. It also has a different recipe to the dough. I add milk powder to it, if I can remember. Yes, I did. Anyway, I will link the recipe. This is different. Feel free to use your own dough, but this is the one I'm using, and I will link it in the description to everything, the recipe. The next ingredient is our sugar. We will then add our baking powder and yeast. This is instant dry yeast. Let's give it a stir. Make sure that we mix all those dry ingredients that we've added together. And then I'll add the warm water. Okay. Bring everything together, and I'm going to put my plastic glove on. Sometimes I'll end up just using my hands without the gloves, but in this initial process I would like to use gloves. If your dough is sticky, add another tablespoon of flour, okay, and then just keep mixing everything. Just until they come together. A little bit more, another tablespoon of flour. Don't worry, I'll give you the exact measurements for you to follow through. Okay, at this stage I'll use the bench and then just roll it until, you know, everything comes together. And feel free to add a little bit more flour if you need to. Okay, put some olive oil in there. Right. Okay, families and friends, I started the process of our dough. See, this is one batch I did earlier, and this is the one that I was showing, and then the camera went off. Hopefully you can see, and excuse my bench. Let's continue on from there. So I have weighed these, okay. Each of these are 92 grams according to my scale. I've weighed, and I've decided to weigh. Okay, I think it's best you do it that way, so you know you get really nice buns, same size. And this is my second dough. So that's still rising. Okay, we can go ahead and use that one. But in the meantime, we'll go ahead and use these ones that are ready to be assembled. So I will put this aside. I was yapping away, not realizing the camera went off. But I took out the pork that was marinated. Let me show you. So I took it out of the fridge from marinating it for a couple of hours. And then I add it to my pan here, nothing else. And then I bake it in the oven for about 15 minutes at 160 degrees. Okay, I'm not quite sure how the degree for Fahrenheit, but I did it for 160 degrees Celsius. Okay, so it's quite warm. Let's cool it down completely. But before we cool it down, there's a lot of juice in there. So this is what I'll add, or I will transfer that liquid or juice from the pork into a small pot. You try and use all that, okay? That should do it for now. And that's our pork. We'll leave the pork aside to cool down, and we will cook this, and we will add a little bit of corn flour just to thicken our sauce here from the pork. Okay, friends, so I have 1 tablespoon of corn flour here. We're just gonna make a little slurry, they call it, just to thicken that beautiful juice or sauce from the pork and our marinade. Added a little bit of water, and I am stirring it. Now, let's add it to the pot, and we will keep stirring. Smells amazing, everyone. You know, that smell of hoisin and the spices. You know, the usual flavour of and fragrance of Char Siu pork or chicken. That barbecue flavour. That's the aroma that I can smell now. And I can't wait to cool this down completely and put it in our buns and steam it away. So you're in for a treat, guys. Okay, this may take some time, but if you really love cooking, I promise you that it's not a hassle. Okay, cooking will not be a hassle. You know, if you enjoy cooking for the family and cooking new recipes and putting your ideas into meals. Hope that makes sense. So just to touch again, I took out the pork, I put it in the tray, and then I cooked it for about 15 minutes at 160 degrees. And that is ready. Let's turn that off. And we'll bring our pork back in. I wish you're here to smell the fragrance. Now I'm adding it back in there. Okay, give it a good mix. Yum. Okay. Give it a good stir again. And that is our meat. All we have to do now is to have it cool it down completely. I won't taste it yet because it's not fully cooked. So I only cooked it in there. Maybe, but I'm not going to, especially with pork. Okay. Something I learned from my Walangi granny is that never try eating a raw pork. You know, you can get food poison. Well, that's something I learned. Okay, you learn from your elders. Okay, friends, let's cool this down completely and then we'll come back. Okay, so our meat has been cooled down completely. You might be able to see it from there. Okay, our dough has risen again, so we are ready to assemble our buns. So I'm just going to scoop a decent amount of meat in there, just like the way we assemble the other buns. Be generous. Okay. Get your wax paper, put it on, and then you try and, you know, shape it so it can be as round as possible. Okay, so that's one, and we'll put it in the steamer. Move on to the next one and do the same. So I'm covering so it doesn't dry up, and I'll continue on working with the rest. Okay, add some pork. And then do the same and gather everything to close up at the bottom. let me continue on and make sure we add all the meat. Nothing different from the lamb and the other steamed buns I made previously in the channel. It's just a different flavor, but it's the same process. Okay. Okay, our buns are ready. And our steamer is ready too. So I will put it on, just like that, and we will steam it for about 20 minutes. Okay, so our buns, I'll show you quickly, have cooked, and there's more in the pot, but let me show you what I've got up here. So I'll cut one in the middle so you can see. Okay, look at that. That's the inside. Okay, hope you can see the inside and how nice it is with the pork belly. Char Siu flavor pork. Have one more look and take a bite. Still steaming hot from the steamer. Okay, we'll give it a taste test. Very nice. Really like this flavor. Char Siu pork, and I know you will like it too. It's different from our usual filling of soy sauce, but give this recipe a try. I like it, and I would recommend you giving this recipe a try. And if you like it, share it with your families and friends, or subscribe to my channel if you're visiting for the first time. I appreciate you cooking and baking with Mills. Stay safe, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.